Hey there, gang. Yeah, so as mentioned, I was going to put together a new version of the gig rig stacked board that I had done earlier. And on your screen right now, you'll see a picture that I was able to actually get most of this together on a pedalboard Nano Plus. Just not quite this exact configuration, but most of the stuff that was on the gig rig board. And I was even able, if I left off the mandala, and I didn't have this, which we'll talk about in a second, but I was able to get it onto a Nano. And I would have the pedal brains and the passive transformer, the Lightning Boy 2020S transformer on the bottom. That was jamming it a little bit, and these prongs for the pedal brains were kind of jamming up against the floor. I didn't really care for that. So what I went for was this, and the reason for all this is I can get the same sounds I got with the gig rig board, just not stacked, which means that I don't have to put it and check it in my luggage. This will fit. This is 15 this way, 15 by 12. The gig rig was 13 by 13, but it was stacked and it had a heavy case and blah, blah, blah. That would have to go into my checked luggage. This fits into my carry-on, which is 21 by 14 and a half on the inside of it. So this fits perfectly. It has its own bag and it does everything I need. The only thing missing from the gig rig board are the Chase Bliss Mood and the Red Panda Tensor. Yeah, those would be cool to have, but this is what I absolutely need. And the ability to carry it on and know it's not going to get lost in your luggage, et cetera, is, a big plus. One thing I was able to add is the Whitey Tighty by JHS. Why is that important? Well, when you do finger picking, if any of you play acoustic guitar, and I'm using an arch top, my arch top over there. When you do finger picking, you need something a little more grabby, a little faster, a little punchier. And while the Broughton Omnicomp is probably one of the best optical compressors I've ever used, I think that this is a great little change of pace for when I'm finger picking. Plus, you also lose a little volume. So you just goose it up a little bit on the output, and you use that for the finger pick songs and then switch back to this for everything else. And it gives you so much more flexibility and it sounds great. One other change I made, and I'll demonstrate this in the future, War Arts commented about, how cool it sounded with the acoustic being overdriven. Well, yeah. And the fact that it's an arch top is I don't want it too overdriven. And when I was isolating the tracks for the last video, I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, that's a little more than I want. Now, yes, I could roll it off with the volume knob on the arch top because it does have volume and tone. But then I was having a conversation with my friend Henry, and he mentioned to me that Jerry Garcia used JBLs as Henry does, and that they're a lot clearer and crisper and a little bit more detailed. It's not a hugely known fact. Pedal steel players used to use them quite a bit. So I was using the Princeton in here, and it was very bottom heavy, very boomy. I tried a bunch of different EQ options, really didn't work too great. It was okay, but it was just boomy by nature. So I got the double norm vibrato, which was the cleanest option that complemented my arch top. And then I started playing around with cabs, some IRs, and I ended up with the the D120. So the D120 is the 12-inch JBL, and the 130 is the 15-inch. The 15-inch was a little too open and crispy for me. That's the one Jerry used, apparently. I'm not a Jerry head, it's just what I've heard. And I actually came up with some really cool presets based on the Jerry thing. But for me, it's the JBL 120, the 12-inch, and the double norm vibrato, which, is pretty clean, at least the way I have it set. I may give it a little more goose. Right now, it's very clean. It's on the edge of breakup, as we all talk about, but probably just shy of the edge of breakup. And I might just bring that back up a little bit. But this, in the preset, which is the tema, I can turn that on to give me that extra crunch if I need it anyway. So I'm kind of leaning to staying cleaner and then just putting the tema on. But yeah, there you go. And the Lightning Boy is underneath. Let's see if we can get it. See, there it is. That's the Lightning Boy transformer, the passive transformer underneath, but everything else is the same. And this can be carried very easily and hopefully not get damaged or lost. So if you have any questions, let me know. And if you want me to share those Jerry Garcia presets I made, which, like I said, I'm not a Jerry head. I just thought it was cool to kind of dip in there a little bit and play around with different IRs, different cabs. It's kind of cool. It was kind of cool. It was very, very eye-opening. So thanks for watching, y'all. I appreciate you being here and my little meanderings about my rig. All right. Hope you're having a good day. I'll catch y'all later.